Hey YouTube, this is GK, and I think this is like take 36 on trying to get started for this video. And this is just an intro to explain kind of what this is. We got some viewer feedback, and it was like, hey, can you explain how these multivariation listings work and putting it from platform to platform? So this is like the first in probably a series of what's to come. It's a how-to video of how to create or update a multivariation listing on eBay, which is a pretty effective strategy for sales, whether you're selling football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, whatever it may be, of creating a single listing with several cards that a buyer can choose from. So we appreciate you tuning in and stick with us, and hopefully you can get something out of this that you can use. And we appreciate the opportunity to share with you, and here we go. So here we are at the desk, and as you can see, we've got a stack of some Raiders base cards separated by player. And here on the screen, we've got our seller's hub. So what we will do is go over to drafts and select drafts. And then as that loads, we've got a listing right here, this Raiders listing that we've already, we've started a draft based on another listing. And so we'll select that. And then that comes up. And then what we've done is we've put a custom label or a SKU there, and that's LVR 3, Las Vegas Raiders 3. It just helps us keep our lots straight. So we scroll down and you can see these variations right here, variations, and then we're going to go to the edit. So then we're going to splice the video. Well, as you can see, it'll tell us attributes and options that you've selected. We can go up here. Here's all the players that are in this area here, right? So everybody that's listed there has a photo there, and that's on your main page listing. So I'm going to hit edit and then splice the video. So now we're still at the same place, or we've hit the edit screen, and now what we're able to do is actually add the variations. So these are the old variations, and we're going to come over here. I gotta scroll down, and then over here where it says create your own, we're going to hit that. Now a field will pop up that we can enter information in. So we had these four lots of four stacks of Raiders cards, just various players. They're grouped by players, and they're just grouped together. So we went through there, we sorted it out, and we got 12 individual cards. All right, so one of the things that we're looking when we're building these lots is to find cards that we have several of, like this Bruce Irvin. I think there's 4 of those there. There's 3 or 4 of these Derek Carrs. Got a couple of Bo Jackson Prisms. So we're just looking for kind of cards that we have multiples of, and that will be a good mix of interesting cards to look at. They're pretty much all commons, maybe some parallel inserts that might be interesting, but like this one, this Napoleon Kaufman 95 Pacific, that's a pretty cool card. We'd like to get it to a Raiders collector if they're interested. So this is the way we'll do that. So we're gonna start entering in here, probably set up the tripod, and we'll do another splice. So now we're in front of the computer, we're ready to begin. We've moved those 12 into a stack, and we're gonna enter them in this order. Basically just flip them over, copy the information from the back into this field right there, and we'll kind of zoom in to where you guys can better see what's going on there. So this first one, we have a 2015 playbook, Clive Wolford, and we go ahead and we enter all of the pertinent information. There is a character limit. I'm not sure what it is, Clive Wolford. I just know that sometimes when we go to enter the information, it stops us. So what we like to include is the year of the card, the make or brand of the card, the player name, and then the number. And what that does is helps the eBay search it helps your card to get found with this information. So you don't have to have it on the main listing. This is an auto 15 out of 25 RC. It's an auto rookie card. So we'll just put in auto RC 15 of 25. And then we hit enter, and then see it comes up right over here at the bottom. All right. Now that we've done that, we'll go ahead and we'll clear out some of these old listings and just click on that X, and it takes them right away, just like that. So as now you can see that we have updated the list. So we have a brand new 12 up here, and basically we'll just scroll down, and then we'll come over here to the update variations button right here, and we'll click update variations. It'll say add rows automatically, and then that's what we want to do right there. And then as you can see, it will have all those new listings. Now the photos down here are still the same, but we haven't imported the photos yet. That's what we'll do later. We could do it all at once, but we've kind of figured out a system on how to do that kind of seamlessly. So we'll show you that as well, but we won't do it right now. So if you'll notice, everything comes up and it'll say add variation photos. We want to select with card attributes. If you go and click default photos, if you use the top one, default photos, whatever image is your main photo is the image that will show up when buyers select the card. So if it was default photos here, that would be what they see regardless of whose name is listed there. But by doing the card attributes, we are able to add a photo for each one of those players. So that first Clive Wolford will add the photo, and then when the prospective buyer looks at it, this would be the card that would come up, front and back. So we'll add front and back views of the cards. The other cool thing about this is, let's kind of set the tripod up. As we scroll down, you'll see that each listing, the photo will show up, what it's going to use, and then it'll say what it is, right? Then here's where you're able to enter your quantity and your price. So usually what we do at this point is, this is when we'll comp the cards. So whatever this Clyde Wolford has sold for most recently, we will find a comp through the eBay search engine, and then that's the price that we'll enter in this box right here. So for instance, one of the cards that we have in the stack is a Bo Jackson Pink Pulsar Prism. This card right here. We've got that in the stack. We want to find out how much is it going for. The Clive Wolford, we didn't find a whole lot of data on there. We just kind of have to wing it. But we can see that this one is sold for 99 cents with $4 shipping. So as recently as May 28th, you know, within the last 3 weeks, somebody paid roughly $5 for that card. Same thing, $1.35, $3.75. We're looking at what? $4.15 or something like that. $1.99, $2.95, $4.15. Here's a buy it now, $3.50 with free shipping. One of the things with these kind of cards, because we kind of understand, you know, these aren't high-end cards. You know, they're just good cards that collectors may or may not want to buy, and we can see what people have been buying them for. So one of the things that I always like to do is I like to leave a little bit of meat on the bone, you know. So although we see that it goes from $3.50 all the way up to $5 up here, this listing here, you know, between $3 and $5, we're not going to go to $3, or we're not going to go all the way up to $5. What we'll probably do is we'll probably come in around the $2.75 range. And you might say, well, hey, GK, you're losing a lot of money. Well, here's the thing. If they buy this for $2.75, and then we followed this one up and we've got that for $1.90, $1.25 or something like that, maybe we're getting that $4 out of it, and we're getting 2 sales. We're moving 2 cards. And what we found out is just leaving a little bit of meat on the bone so the buyer feels like they're getting a win. always helps to create more sales. And the whole point of this is not to have one card listed up there for a long time that doesn't sell. It's to try to help facilitate moving these products as well. So that's how we kind of like to look at it. You know, to each their own. There's no right or wrong answer. That's just how we see it. All right, so we've got all the information entered. You know, we've got our quantity here and our asking price. So we've kind of went through there. We've comped a few of these. A few of them we didn't. We're not really worried about it. The main thing is to get the quantities of the cards entered in there. So once that's all complete, we can come down here to save and close. Save and close, it'll save the changes. Now this screen will pop back up and we're able to come down here, and now all of our card attributes have been changed. We still need to come in and add the photos, which we'll do at this point, all our marginal information, and we'll go over that a little bit later. It's all free shipping. We do promote the listings. You know, I don't know, looking at some of the analytics, I don't know if it makes a difference or not. We're seeing that our organic listings are performing as well as the promoted. And then what we're doing as well, like we said, we're not really too concerned with trying to make as much money as possible on these offerings, but we just want to learn the system, and we are offering a multi-purchase discount. So if you buy 4 or more of these cards, you get 10% off. So what we'll do, if we had the photos, we would list the item, but since we still need to add photos, we'll save it as a draft. So real quick, we've got a new stack of 12 Raider cards, or 12 different variations, multiple cards. And really, to kind of save time, what we'll do is we'll find the main listing, the one that's active up on our actual eBay, and we'll go to edit, select edit, and then we'll go to sell similar. That will come up. So it'll be basically the same thing as what we're looking at before. And we will change the SKU, the custom label, or the SKU. And this will be the 4th one. So this will be our 4th set of 12 Raiders. And what we'd like to do is really just get 12, or as you were, we like to have 5 listings of 12. So we're going to take a break for a little bit, and we're going to save these. We're going to save this one as a draft. So we're going to save it as a draft. And it comes up in our drafts bin. So right here is the one we were just working on as far as entering the data. Here's the one that we just created. So that's it. Now we're ready to take pictures. And when we go to do that, we'll be back. So here we are on our listing page, and it's our active listings. And earlier today, you know, we showed where we went in and we picked up a Raiders listing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the edit field, just like that. Kind of zoom out a little bit. And then that'll come up. It's got our SKU. That's what we're looking for. This is Raiders number 2. And if you see here, we have once again the edit variations. Let's kind of move that over there. Variations, edit, and then here's the list of the names. We've taken photos, you know, we got out the photo booth, took our pics, and we use an iPhone XS to take our photos, and our iCloud settings automatically take the photos from the phone and send them to the cloud, and then the cloud will automatically download them on the computer, which is super. It makes this process real cool. And what we have is basically the downloads are set up, and in the order of the pictures that we take, we've got the front and the back of the card, right? So And this is the point in which we will start adding the pictures. So we'll go to the edit button, click the edit button, and just like earlier, you'll see like the edit field. It'll list the names, and then it will have the photos. And now this is your main listings. So typically at this point, what we'll do is I'll go just to the add photos, and it will pull up the photo window. And I know that if I look what the last card is, we're looking for the Optic Obi Melifanu. Yeah, we're looking for that guy. So we'll just basically Control select until we get down to that guy. And it takes a couple minutes, and then we'll hit open. Those will automatically start uploading, as you can see. So then earlier, we did talk about over here the card attributes. Let's kind of zoom in a little bit. Card attributes, you can see it right down there. And that's the individual cards. So as we're scrolling, you can see like there's a photo there, front, and then back. And that's what the customer will see as they're looking. We just go down to where there's 0 photos. Click on that. I'll say add photos. We'll add photos, and sometimes it takes a little while because if your main listings are up here and they're loading up, it can kind of bog this down, but it looks like it went pretty smooth. I'm going to select these two, select, Control select, hit open. And then boom, that's all there is to it. And you can do this relatively quickly. It doesn't take that much time once you get to this point. Getting to this point takes a while. I think we photographed maybe 60, 70 some cards. We did 3 sets, and there was, several of the same card. There might be dupes or trips or whatever. And of course, below this screen, we have those quantities listed. We only have to take a picture of one card, or front and back, and then it's basically the same. If we are doing when we do numbered cards and specialty cards like that, we will take, even if it's the same card. Like, so let's say that Contenders Optic was Derek Carr was numbered. We had one of them that was 1 out of 100. We had another one that was like 120 out of 399. We would make, we'd do separate pictures. We don't want to represent, but pretty much on the base and commons, when they're all the same like that, that's kind of what we do. This gives us a chance to kind of review the photos. One of these times we might just actually do a video kind of similar to this with our process on taking the photos. That might be kind of interesting, because when I'm going through those cards, it always seems like there's always an interesting story to tell behind the player, maybe the card and the player, depending on who they are. And if they're one of your favorite players, or you remember pulling that card out of a pack, sometimes that stuff can be interesting. And what you might find is you're not the only person that really enjoys that card. So it can be a good way to just share the hobby and share the experience. So it's relatively quick at this point, and this is really all there is to making a multivariation listing with photos. And like I said, we got down to the number 12 because it's the maximum amount of photos that the eBay front page will allow you to load. And what our intent is if these singles do not sell at one point, we could just convert them to an auction quickly, and we already have our main photos uploaded. And we'll scroll back up there and I'll kind of show you what that's all about right there. And so it kind of will make a little bit more sense how to easily convert them later on. So all the photos have loaded. We'll scroll back up here. It'll show you, there's your default photos. So it'll give you like the main photo and then everything else. And at this point, we kind of like to pick one of the better cards or better pictures, you know, that may draw a viewer or a buyer in. I kind of like that Tim Brown. That's a 96 Flare Premier. And then we'll back it up with a couple cool ones, you know, just like that. So then that will be the main photo that the viewer sees. And then we've got our quantities and our pricing already set. And we go over here to save and close. Now it will take us back to the main screen. And as you can see, that's been updated. And we've got Tim Brown in the player search. These recommended item specifics are sure useful. I know back when they first made them, you know, mandatory, people were kind of weird about it. We got our shipping setups. We're promoting this listing. We offer a discount. And now we just go down to here, update listing. And boom, we've added 7 cards to a set of 12. And then that's live. So that's really how we set up those multivariation listings. So thanks for checking it out, and we'll see you again real soon.